Now then. Oh, good morning. Right, yeah, I can take this opportunity to show you where we are on the map.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
right now our position is just about here. That's our position.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we just go right under the M5.
Yeah.
And then the lock flight begins pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 locks all in quick succession.
Yeah.
Now I did a recce yesterday, and unfortunately this canal is incredibly reedy and incredibly narrow.
Right.
There is one potential mooring spot just beyond that pipe bridge there, sort of about there, between pipe bridge and bridge 22. But if that has been taken, we may have no alternative but go through Tolladine Lock, and then Blackpool Lock.
Yeah.
And there are at least good moorings there, because that was where the boat show was held.
Oh, right. Okay.
So there's, quite a lot of them have been vacated now.
Well, the further we get down, the less walk it is for me back into Worcester.
Well, there's that, I suppose. Setting off on today's mission, I'm going to do the Offerton locks. I've sent Father on ahead. Set off rather quickly because there's a hire boat right behind us. There's been quite a few hire boats today. Got a lovely stretch of canal ahead though, hardly any reeds. Beautifully done, sir. And good news about that hire boat.
Sorry?
There's a hire boat right behind us. If there's a hire boat behind us and we're holding them up, they might send an additional member of crew along to help us. But there's no guarantee of that. Hire boaters don't always have good manners. First injury of the day. Let's see the gore. See the gore. That's quite impressive.
Jolly good. Lock 12 of Offerton, which could be the penultimate lock of the day, providing I can find a mooring spot between here and Tolladine Lock. Also had our first injury of the day, and for once it wasn't me. Yeah. Right. So here we are, new position. We're approximately 3 miles north of Worcester. That's as the crow flies though, and not as the canal meanders. And unfortunately my cameras were a bit iffy, so I didn't capture an awful lot of that descent. But yeah, you came a cropper, didn't you, Trevor?
Yes. I wasn't holding on to the windlass very well. I tried to do something else with the sprocket on the paddle thing, and I slipped. The windlass slipped in the holding pin and whipped back and smacked me right in the nose. And I was bleeding copiously for at least 10 minutes. And I'm still bleeding now and again, the odd spot. But I don't think my nose is broken though.
That was also the third lock, wasn't it? We're only halfway through and you got whacked.
Yes.
Mind you, it is an amusing irony that you're so fond of health and safety.
I am.
Yeah.
I was more concerned about falling in the canal off one of the locks, so I was very careful crossing over the locks when I had to move from one side to the other.
Well, you didn't fall in, that's something.
Indeed.
I'm not really in the mood for cruising this morning. It was bloody narrow back there. I had a boat called the Rosary whiz by and unpinned me, and Ella jackknifed. I don't want to be jackknifed again. Oh, I've got a crippling hangover. I'm moving on somewhere that's slightly less narrow. At least I hope it's slightly less narrow. For fuck's sake. I mean, luckily the lock's quite full, which is something. Why are you picking damsons? Are they edible?
They are edible.
They are edible?
Stew them. You can make jam with them. You can also put them in gin or vodka. Getting ready for Christmas.
My spirit days are long behind me.
Oh dear.
Oh, now, darlings, I'm sorry to ask this. I mean, technically I should be single-handing through a lock, but it looks pretty empty now. Would you, open the gates and then close them behind me? Could you do that? That would be so lovely if you could do that. And your glory will be recorded. Your deeds of glory will be recorded. Anyway, I better race back to the boat and get going. But yeah, I'll just close this paddle. Scholar and a gentleman, sir. And your missus too. You close the gates. Good show, jolly good show. Well, that wasn't quite single-handing. You know, lovely couple, out picking damsons. It's just still a pretty narrow bit of canal, so I don't know if I'm going to find anywhere to moor up between here and Blackpole lock. Still, it's gonna save me on shoe leather. Just hope I don't meet anything coming the other way. Oh, this will be fun, rendering passing honours, the very narrow bit of canal. They should really do something about these reeds, shouldn't they? Oh, it's a bugger. Chin chin. One lock is not enough. May as well do another.
I hope I'm filming at all.
Just why I'm trying to venerate you.
Very good.
Like I say, it's people like yourselves who make it all worthwhile, you know. When
Just-
I first bought my narrowboat, when I first took her out 2 years ago to this very day, I met a mad fella who lived in a tent. He used to cycle from Droitwich all around the canal network and live in his tent. I thought he was mad. So I invited him aboard my boat for a bottle of beer and a marijuana cigarette. You surprised me.
No,
He gave
you
me some very
don't.
good advice. He gave me some good advice. He said, Ted, you'll meet the best people on the waterways. That's true. You'll see the best of humanity, but you'll see the worst as well.
Yeah.
And I saw the worst this morning, that bloody boat and rosary. But a new pair. I've seen the best today. That's kind of you. Really
Good.
have. You've been a marvellous help. Steve, Sue, my saviours of the day, thank you.
You're very welcome.
May your deeds be recorded and remembered. Now, all you need to do is, if you'll be so kind as to open the gates and then close them behind me, I shall venerate you in film. Sue, Steve, you are both the best of humanity. I wish you well and all the best.
Cheers. Same to you as well. And
Thank you.
all the sailing.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
You've been real stars. I do appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Happy damson picking! Thanks to Sue and Steve who helped me out of those locks. I mean, wow, amazing. That was absolutely marvellous. Bloody lovely people. Anyway, now I've got through those 2 locks. I think I might as well go to Pariswell Park, maybe slightly closer to Worcester. Okay, all clear ahead, so let's crank it up a bit. Oh God, I sound like Robbie Cummings. I'll do that again. Slightly closer. Yeah, well, I can't. The cliché's been taken now, hasn't it? Oh well, have a look at this here factory. Ahoy there! So, I think we're coming up on Periswell Park. Should be just ahead, which should be a good place to moor. I think 2 locks and a mile or so in the morning is a good day's work. Fair enough for me. So I'm just going to wait until I find somewhere broad. I mean, this looks good.
I lost a fender in today's expedition. Jack? Jack, come on. Don't go too far, mate. Look, come on, Jack, no. Come on, Jack. This is suburbia. You don't want to live in suburbia. Why the hell do you think I moved you onto the boat? No, don't. No, that's someone's garden, Jack. Don't go running off in there. It's been alright getting to Worcester, but because of all that traffic in the boat show, it's a bit silty where I've moored up, so Ella's on a bit of a list. And I've been having all these terrible anxiety dreams about the boat sinking. Yeah.
Was it more?
Well, don't worry, Ted, because I'm going to take you somewhere where you can forget all about boats.
I've just realised I don't have a lifeboat on, Ella.
Why not?
There's not really much room, is there? Note to self, I must get a canoe.
You could put it on the top.
Yeah.
Who would you say first, Jack or yourself?
Oh, Jack first. Well, the captain always goes down with his ship.
Edward Smith went down with the ship.
Yeah.
That guy from Italy didn't.
Well, of course he didn't, he was from Italy.
What was the name of the ship?
Oh, Scaletta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Didn't he get off like first or something?
Yeah, he was first off, yeah. The Coast Guard wasn't impressed.
No.
You can hear the SOS messages and the Coast Guard shouting at him to get back on the ship.
So would he be like court-martialed?
Actually, he was sent to prison for corporate manslaughter.
He did?
Yeah. Take that, Scaletta. There you are. Look at that, lovey. Look at that. That's 4 Hockins. The women survived, but the men died. It's 4 of my distant ancestors.
Philly, love, what are your impressions of Worcester?
Well, when I got here, I was thinking it's just a kind of big brother of Redditch. You know, Redditch's big brother. But as the days softened up, we've had a bit of culture. We've had the pub ball. found a Wetherspoons. The sun's out. Going towards the river after food. So, and also thinking maybe a night out here in Worcester. So actually over the course of about an hour, and I've got a new drink, Moretti. I've never had Moretti before.
Oh, chin chin.
Yeah, and you've got the fruits of your labour as well. So all in all, it's picking up.
Aye.
Well, lovely. We got to Worcester in the end.
Hey, drink to that. Chin chin.
Hold your windlass fast, any boater knows, or it might smack you in the nose. The blood it spilt down on